had Tom Gordonier and Mike Grant talking about theory. You had Dylan Scott being bribed by cookies like a 5-year-old. One of the most productive meetings in your town's history. A bizarre motion on a left field by a guy probably just turned to the bathroom and scratched his balls. Like, how about that guy? Eli Sorge then goes, wait, what? I literally just got here and put my shoes on. What? And he's like, yeah, I don't like them. Let's get them.
Wait a baby.
So before Eli can even get his boots back on to run screaming out of the town hall, a boomerang comes flying out of nowhere and cleaves his head in half.
A boomerang?
A boomerang.
What's kind of Australian?
It does look kind of Australian. However, the guy says, no, dude. I'm a space cloud originally, just like boomerangs. It's cool. Not a big deal. There's a boomerang to do these. Eli, you've been cleft in the head with the most unlikely weapon ever. Whose biggest selling point is that it returns to you, and it only does that if you miss. You are dead.
What was he?
He was a citizen. Totally innocent.
We're so
Tom Gordonier was walking down the street. Luckily, he was nowhere near the action. Good.
Victory!
However, Zach Weber was walking, or should I say trotting, or should I say thundering down the street with terrible magma hooves.
Whoa!
When suddenly, he spied an Australian man who strolled gallantly through the shadows. He looked at him and said, "Fool, get out of my way! I have no people skills!" Crocodile Dundee said, "No people skills, mate. Well, that's a corona on the back with a lizard skin and a crocodile on the back." Well, what? He said, "Your stupid human tongue can't form words that make sense to Alpha, leader of the Vanra, circa a couple months ago before my daughter kicked my royal butt." And so, Alpha says to him, "I will defeat you with a thundering electrical magma storm of God strength." To which Private Leader replied, "Thundering magma storm of terrifying God strength? That's no thundering God storm of terrifying God strength. This is a thundering God storm of terrifying magma of holy energy, dark shadow strength." Which then covered Alpha in its terrifying horror. Enveloped him like a heat envelope. What happened thereafter was a fight which raged for a period of 8,000 years in a dimension of shadow and horror.
Wait, did they honestly try and kill each other?
You know, no, this, finally, in the last bout of it, Alpha opened his mouth and said, "I'm going to do something with my soul now. I'm going to make up a spell on the spot like I do because I'm a Vonner, a horse monster." And he spat out his soul, which turned into 3 souls, which turned into 1,000 souls made of darkness and fire, which then all had a boomerang thrown at them. However, the boomerang had a knife taped to it.
Oh!
The secret weapon. All 800,000,000 soul fire horses were killed in an instant by an Australian Bowie knife. And Alpha, the terrifying horse monster, was killed. Alpha, you are dead. One turn too late. And in one of the cruelest things I've ever had to do as narrator, Flynn.
What?
Oh!
No.
Was walking down the street when suddenly several blonde, in varsity jackets, draped precariously over their biplane wings.
Can I
What is it? Yes.
Crocodile Dundee, can you just kind of...
What can Crocodile need?
Can he just, like, be
Save me?
Now,
It's good.
the blonde stepped from the shadows. "Hey, who do you think you is? You ain't nobody but nothing is." And Flynn said, "What?" And they said, "How about you have some more that you do that we don't like? Because you have clothes on that we don't think are good." I said, what are you even saying? You didn't say anything. And then they say, "We're not saying anything. Then how come we shoot you with guns?" Their biplane propellers started up, shredding their jackets to pieces. "Oh, dang it! Or turning around trying to catch themselves from shredding their jackets, they clip Flynn's face with the edge of a biplane motor.
Oh!
Bone shreds and a scream gurgles out of his shattered teeth and bloody jaw. He falls to the ground. Oh no, we're sorry, mister. We were just gonna bubble a little bit. In their attempt to flee, they use their sharp hooves for hands and smash his sternum and ribcage, puncturing his internal organs. Flynn dies a gurgling bloody mess on the streets of Space-clad New York. Now, going to his locker, you see a lot of jerseys. Jerseys meant to fit jeans with 5-pin names and things like that. Some of you hear something coming out of the shower. Hey, well, what's you all those doing over here? And you say, aha! You are a Flaming Bee! I'm not a Flaming Bee, Flaming Bee's champs! Flaming Bees! If you're not a Flaming Bee, how can you keep cheering with the Flaming Bees? That's not a good thing. What you ask the question for? Flaming Bees! And you're like, alright. Interesting rebuttal. But I still think you're a Flaming Bee. It's like, if I was a Flaming Bee, would I be able to do this? He kicks a football with his back leg, it spins around, and he catches it between his two hooves and says, touchdown! And you're like, yes, in fact, only a Flaming Bee can do that. And he says, yeah, that's what your parents said when I was over Flaming Bees! Flaming Bees! Flaming Bees! So you say, alright, that's enough. So, you guys say, alright, you know what? How are these Flaming Bees? Time to take the kid gloves off. So you take the gloves off of your children to reveal their sharp claws.
Oh my God!
A small pack of toddlers run screaming towards him saying, ah! We hate football! We were raised by intellectuals! Shredding into his soft donkey flesh, you tear the Mafia member limb from limb. His biplane wings and shreds. Sir, you are dead.
Actually be turning this game around.
Oh no!
He was my only purpose in life, okay?
Is sitting in the apartment of a woman with way too much blonde hair, because it's like the 1980s where he's from.
It's my homeland.
Sitting there, eating a crocodile raw. He's got it, it's still alive, flapping around. And all of a sudden, he reaches into the crocodile's gut to pull out some more meat, and he pulls out cotton candy.
Ew.
There's cotton candy in there. And suddenly, the crocodile begins to swell up. He's like, what the heck? Its scales start to split. It gets bloated. Huge. And suddenly, cotton candy goes everywhere. It's raining cotton candy. And he laughs and giggles.
Hey! This is pretty interesting.
Crawling from the cotton candy is a figure.
I thought you were looking at me the entire time. I hate you.
It's me, it's me.
He goes, and you say, oh, you need help? You're trapped inside the cotton candy alligator? That's totally normal. Come here. And you grab his hand.
That's something I'd say too.
And the electric buzzer in his hand goes off. That's not lethal. It's okay, it's just a regular buzzer. And you're like, oh, that startled me. And he said, startled you like my mouse gun? Said,
What?
what's a mouse gun? It doesn't even have anything to do with the circus. What is that? It doesn't make sense. And he's like, no, look. And he holds up a mouse. And you're like, oh, that's not a mouse gun, it's just a mouse. And he says, yeah, and he squeezes it, and a bullet shoots out of it. Into your head. And he falls over dead. And he goes, get it? And you don't respond because you're dead. But he goes, I'm going to assume that you got it. And he hops on a unicycle and bursts through a portal made out of hell bones and shrieking misery.